Hey, Raiders fans. Today, we are diving deep into the current state of the Las Vegas Raiders and what the team should be thinking as they approach the NFL draft. There's no doubt that this past season left a lot of questions, not just about the players on the roster, but about the overall direction and strategy of the organization. When you look at last year's draft choices and free agency moves, it's clear that the front office had a plan, but it's hard to say that it was a good one. Signing Alex Kappa, making minimal changes to the offensive line while moving JPJ away from center, and then drafting Ashton Gentry. These are decisions that left a lot of fans scratching their heads. Not that the players themselves were bad, but without proper execution and planning, it's difficult to maximize talent. The Raiders currently hold the number 2 overall pick, and the possibility exists that if the season doesn't go their way, they could end up with the number 1 overall pick. That presents a huge opportunity, but also a massive responsibility for the team and the decision-makers in Las Vegas. When I think about what I would do if I were in the Raiders' war room, I approach it from a structured perspective. I like to sit down, analyze every option, and build a plan that is not only realistic but also positions the team for long-term success. This is where the quarterback discussion comes in, because finding the right franchise quarterback is crucial for building a winning team. In this year's draft, 2 quarterbacks stand out to me as the only realistic first-round options for the Raiders: Fernando Mendoza from Indiana and Dante Moore from Oregon. Mendoza is a unique talent. He might not have all the flash or hype of some of the other prospects, but what he brings is leadership, poise, and the ability to elevate everyone around him. He has that rare quality where in the biggest moments, he performs at his peak and makes those around him better. Mendoza led Indiana to a Big Ten championship, and his play shows a level of mental toughness and confidence that reminds people of elite quarterbacks like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning in their prime. The way he commands the huddle, the way he rallies his team, it's not just about his physical ability. It's about his mentality and presence as a leader. If you pair a quarterback like Mendoza with the right coaching staff and the proper surrounding pieces, you're giving your franchise a chance to compete at the highest level. Dante Moore from Oregon is my second favorite quarterback in this draft, and while his ceiling might not be quite as high as Mendoza's, his floor is incredibly safe. Moore has a strong mental game, a precise passing ability, and he demonstrates resilience under pressure. I've seen him perform in high-stakes environments, including wideout games that test every ounce of focus and toughness. His ability to stay composed in chaotic situations is exactly what a team like the Raiders needs right now. Both Mendoza and Moore offer qualities that would allow the Raiders to rebuild their team around a quarterback who can handle pressure, lead effectively, and execute at a high level. Any choice between these two requires careful consideration, but I would be hard-pressed to go wrong with either of them at the top of the draft. Beyond just choosing a quarterback, there are strategic decisions to consider about how to maximize the team's draft capital. One approach would be to trade back from a number 1 pick to number 2. This move could allow the Raiders to still select one of these elite quarterbacks while gaining additional draft picks to address other pressing needs on the roster. This kind of strategy is about thinking long-term. It's about recognizing that the team has multiple holes that need filling, not just at quarterback, but across the offensive line, defense, and skill positions. Trading down strategically could give the Raiders the resources to rebuild comprehensively while still acquiring a franchise quarterback. The key here is flexibility and ensuring that the decisions made in the draft align with both the immediate and future goals of the franchise. Another potential move could involve targeting a quarterback already drafted, such as Cam Ward. Ward had an extremely challenging season, primarily due to a lack of support around him, including weak offensive line play and minimal talent surrounding him in Washington State and later in Miami. Despite the struggles, his talent and upside cannot be ignored. Acquiring a quarterback like Ward via trade, possibly for a second-round pick, could give the Raiders the chance to combine proven talent with their own draft selections, creating an accelerated path to rebuilding the team. While this move is not without risks, it represents another layer of strategic thinking that the Raiders could employ. The idea is to position the team in a way that maximizes both talent acquisition and future draft flexibility, allowing them to address multiple areas of need while still landing a quarterback with first-round pedigree. As we discuss these strategies, it's crucial to keep the coaching situation in mind. The success of any quarterback, whether it's Mendoza, Moore, or even a trade acquisition like Ward, is tied directly to the head coach and the system in which they operate. Selecting a quarterback without a clear vision for coaching support and offensive strategy would be a mistake. Conversely, pairing the right quarterback with a top-tier coaching candidate can create a synergy that accelerates team development. This is why it is not enough to simply identify talented quarterbacks. The Raiders must also consider how these decisions will influence coaching hires, play calling, and long-term team culture. Every move in the draft should be considered in the context of how it will affect the entire organization, both on and off the field. Now, let's get into the mindset of what kind of quarterbacks Mendoza and Moore are beyond the statistics and highlight reels. Mendoza brings a fiery competitiveness that is almost contagious. He believes in himself and demands excellence from everyone around him. Watching him command a huddle, make quick decisions, and elevate teammates is an experience that cannot be replicated in a simulation or a highlight tape. Moore, on the other hand, is a model of consistency and composure. In situations where games are decided by inches and seconds, Moore's ability to process information rapidly, maintain his focus, and execute under pressure is invaluable. Both players possess traits that could not only stabilize the quarterback position, but also transform the culture and mentality of the Raiders as a franchise. Choosing between them comes down to evaluating the fit with the coaching staff, offensive scheme, and the overall vision for the team's identity moving forward. One of the most interesting scenarios to consider is using the number 1 overall pick in a way that allows flexibility to build around the quarterback. Trading back one spot or acquiring additional draft picks can help shore up the offensive line, address skill position needs, and strengthen the defense. The Raiders have to think in terms of both immediate impact and long-term sustainability. While landing a franchise quarterback is crucial, building a team capable of competing at a championship level requires a comprehensive approach. Every pick, trade, and acquisition should be evaluated for how it strengthens the team in the present and secures assets for the future. It is this balance between bold, high-reward moves and careful, strategic planning that can determine whether the Raiders are able to turn potential into performance in the seasons ahead. Finally, while evaluating potential draft strategies, it is important to consider the leadership qualities of the quarterback. Beyond arm strength, accuracy, or athleticism, the ability to lead, inspire, and make teammates better is often the difference between a good quarterback and a great one. Mendoza exhibits this in abundance, and Moore displays it in a steady, reliable manner. The choice is about more than statistics. It's about culture, mentality, and the long-term trajectory of the franchise. By carefully analyzing these factors, the Raiders can make decisions that not only address the immediate needs of the roster, but also lay the groundwork for sustained success in the NFL. Whether it is drafting Mendoza, selecting Moore, trading for a quarterback like Cam Ward, or creatively maneuvering in the draft to maximize picks, the focus must remain on building a team that can compete year after year, not just for one season. Continuing with the Raiders and their draft strategy, it's clear that this team is at a pivotal moment in its history. The number 1 overall pick offers a rare opportunity, but it also comes with immense pressure. Every decision made in the draft room this year will have ripple effects for seasons to come. One of the most important things to consider is how to balance taking a franchise quarterback with addressing the roster's other critical needs. The Raiders cannot afford to focus solely on the quarterback position without simultaneously shoring up the offensive line, strengthening the defense, and ensuring that skill positions are prepared to thrive around a young leader. The key here is foresight and planning, understanding that the draft is not just about talent acquisition, but about building a team, culture, and identity that will carry the organization forward. If the Raiders are smart about trading, they could leverage their position at the top of the draft to accumulate multiple picks in the first and second rounds. Trading back one spot, as discussed earlier, could provide additional resources to fill holes across the roster. This could mean picking up top-tier offensive linemen, a wide receiver who can immediately impact the passing game, or defensive players who could transform a struggling unit. Each pick should be evaluated not just on immediate talent, but on fit within the system, character, and the ability to contribute to the locker room culture. The Raiders have seen what happens when talent is not complemented by coaching, support, or structure, so the emphasis this year must be on building a cohesive, well-rounded roster that maximizes each player's strengths. Beyond the top quarterbacks, it's worth noting the value of exploring trades for existing talent. Cam Ward is one example of a player who, despite a difficult season, possesses the tools and potential to succeed in the right system. A trade for Ward, even involving a second-round pick, could allow the Raiders to secure a quarterback with first-round pedigree while also keeping options open in the draft. This approach requires careful negotiation and a willingness to take calculated risks, but could accelerate the rebuilding process by adding proven talent alongside high-potential rookies. The key is flexibility, being willing to adjust the plan based on available opportunities, but always keeping the ultimate goal in mind, creating a team that can compete at a high level for years to come. The coaching situation cannot be overstated in importance. Any quarterback selected, whether it's Mendoza, Moore, or a trade acquisition like Ward, will only reach their potential if paired with the right head coach and offensive system. The Raiders must prioritize finding a coach who can not only develop a young quarterback, but also instill discipline, creativity, and resilience throughout the roster. A coach with a clear vision can transform a promising quarterback into a leader capable of elevating the entire team. This alignment between quarterback and coaching philosophy is fundamental to long-term success and cannot be treated as an afterthought. Every draft choice and trade should be evaluated through the lens of how it complements the coaching staff and overall organizational vision. Another aspect to consider is the mental and leadership qualities of these quarterbacks. Mendoza and Moore both bring a level of composure and intelligence that is rare in rookie quarterbacks. Mendoza thrives in high-pressure situations and has a commanding presence that can rally teammates, while Moore offers consistency, reliability, and a strong mental processing ability that allows him to make quick, smart decisions under duress. These qualities are not easily taught and are often what separates successful quarterbacks from those who struggle. By prioritizing leadership and mental toughness, the Raiders are not just selecting a player. They're choosing a cornerstone for the franchise, someone who can define the team's identity for years to come. The idea of trading back to number 2 or acquiring additional picks also introduces strategic flexibility. By gaining extra selections, the Raiders can address depth across the roster, ensuring that talent is not concentrated in just one position group. A strong offensive line, complemented by dynamic skill position players, can provide the quarterback with the support needed to succeed. Similarly, defensive acquisitions can create a team capable of competing in every game. This approach emphasizes balance, building a team that is prepared to win now while maintaining assets for the future. Every draft pick should serve a dual purpose: immediate contribution and long-term development. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A quiet murmur turned into a full-blown roar around league circles as word leaked that the Raiders have secured the signature of a major edge rival. An acquisition insiders are already calling a franchise-shifting move. No official announcements have surfaced, but the chatter has grown too loud to ignore. Front office whispers describe the signing as a blockbuster pivot, a defensive jolt the team has been chasing for multiple seasons. And if the early noise is even half true, this could be the moment their entire identity tilts. Across the league, scouts and executives are buzzing about what this edge presence could mean for a defense long labeled inconsistent. The player's name remains under tight wraps, though several sources insist it's a well-established disruptor, someone capable of blowing up protections and dictating offensive schemes on every snap. One rival coach reportedly muttered in frustration that the Raiders just added a problem nobody wants to deal with. hinting that this move may ripple through the conference with real force. Inside the Raiders' facility, energy is said to be electric, with players privately celebrating what some describe as the missing piece to unlock a more fearsome attacking system. Personnel sources claim this move wasn't impulsive, but months in the making. An aggressive pursuit involving late-night calls, strategic financial maneuvering, and a push from defensive leaders who demanded a tone-setting playmaker. The rumor mill even suggests the newcomer chose the Raiders over multiple contenders, drawn by a promise of freedom to wreak havoc off the edge. Around the fan base, the reaction has been a mix of disbelief and exhilaration. Social chatter exploded as soon as the rumor surfaced, with supporters already envisioning a revitalized pass rush and a swaggering defense built around pure pressure. Even skeptics admit the move could signal a dramatic step forward, the kind that reshapes expectations and ignites a long-awaited resurgence. Nothing is confirmed, at least not yet. But if this signing is real, the Raiders may have just rewritten the script for their season, and perhaps for the entire division. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.